The galaxy was in trouble. Far beyond Earth in the cold expanse of space, a fleet of unknown alien ships moved through star systems, leaving destruction wherever they went. Their speed and power were unmatched, and the Intergalactic Council, the organization that kept peace among hundreds of civilizations, had sent a message to every habitable planet. It was a call for help. They asked for fighters, soldiers, warriors, anyone who could stand against the invaders. On Earth, the message arrived with little fanfare. It came through satellites, news networks, and even a viral post that traveled across social media in hours. Most people ignored it at first. "Aliens again?" they said. "That's just sci-fi nonsense." But the governments took it seriously. The council was not a joke. A call for fighters meant the galaxy itself expected a serious response. In every capital, military and intelligence agencies scrambled. They needed soldiers, yes, but they needed the best. People who could adapt to the unknown, fight under pressure, and take risks others could not. But Earth had a different kind of best. Instead of calm, disciplined troops, the governments chose the unpredictable. Humans who were brilliant but reckless, daring but dangerous, soldiers who had skirted the law or even broken it. Some were mercenaries, some were hackers, some were former military commanders who had been kicked out for disobedience. The word psychopath was whispered in government offices, but no one cared. They were exactly what Earth would send. In a massive orbital station above Earth, the chosen humans gathered. It was a strange mix of people. A man with a mechanical arm and a grin that suggested he enjoyed chaos stood next to a woman whose quiet gaze made others uncomfortable. A young hacker with bright purple hair tapped on a tablet, ignoring everyone, while a former Special Forces officer polished his gun with a meticulous calm. They looked around at each other, sizing up potential allies and threats. Nobody really knew what to expect from the aliens or from each other. The first meeting with the Intergalactic Council was tense. Representatives of several alien species looked at the humans with shock. "These are your fighters," one of them asked in perfect Galactic Basic, a language humans had learned through advanced translators. The humans only smiled, shrugged, or did something unpredictable. One man stood on a chair and performed an exaggerated salute, while a woman sent a holographic butterfly floating around the room for no reason at all. The council had prepared for professional soldiers. What they got were humans who ignored rules, challenged authority, and laughed at danger. But that was part of their charm. Somewhere beneath the chaos, the council realized there was a spark of brilliance. Humans could do things no one else could imagine. They could think differently, fight differently. They could survive when others would fail. The team was given their first mission: intercept a small alien scout fleet near a mining colony on the edge of the Orion sector. The plan was simple: locate, engage, and capture or destroy. The humans, however, had other ideas. As soon as they boarded their ships, the chaos began. The pilot, a tall man with a wild look in his eyes, ignored the standard flight protocols and did a series of flips and spins in zero gravity that made everyone hold on for dear life. The hacker had already started uploading random programs into the ship systems, laughing when alarms went off. The rest of the team argued over who should take what position, shouting over each other, until the mechanical arm man finally clapped his hands. "Enough! Let's see what the universe thinks of us." They were sleek, fast, and highly organized. The humans, on the other hand, were anything but. They did not follow formation. They did not move strategically. They acted on instinct, improvisation, and sheer audacity. One human fired a signal flare in the middle of the fleet, not as a weapon, but to confuse the aliens. Another had rigged their ship to emit strange light patterns and loud noises, which disoriented the enemy ships. It was not elegant, it was not clean, but it worked. The aliens hesitated, their sensors unable to make sense of the humans' unpredictable behavior. The humans exploited this confusion, darting through space, hitting from unexpected angles, and retreating when the enemy tried to counterattack. They captured one scout ship entirely by accident. It flew into a trap meant for something else, and the humans quickly secured it. Back on the orbital station, the captured alien ship became the subject of fascination. The hacker immediately started probing its systems, eager to see what could be learned or destroyed. The mechanical arm man suggested a few modifications, some of which were terrifying but promising. The quiet woman warned that overconfidence could be dangerous, but no one really listened. They were humans, and humans did not follow instructions easily. The council observers had mixed feelings. On one hand, Earth's approach was reckless, unpredictable, and potentially dangerous. On the other hand, it was effective. These humans had done what professional armies could not. They had survived their first engagement with a hostile alien fleet using creativity, madness, and audacity. There was a strange admiration mixed with fear. The galaxy had asked for fighters, and Earth had sent something entirely different, something terrifying, brilliant, and unstoppable in its unpredictability. Despite the victory, tensions within the human team were high. They argued, laughed, and challenged each other at every turn. The hacker wanted to test the alien ship's weapons immediately, while the ex-soldier insisted on caution. The mechanical arm man wanted to rig traps for fun, while the quiet woman tried to keep them focused. Their personalities clashed violently, yet somehow it worked. In their chaos was a kind of unity. They trusted each other because they understood one truth: they were the only humans they could rely on. As the team prepared to return to the station, a warning came from the captured alien ship. Its communications were still active, and it transmitted a message in broken Galactic Basic. "More coming, destroy everything." The words were simple, but their meaning was clear. The alien fleet was larger than anyone expected. The humans had survived their first encounter, but the real battle was only beginning. For the humans, this was exciting. They did not fear the coming battle in the same way the aliens or even the Council did. Fear was a foreign concept. Danger was an invitation. They argued over strategies, though none of them were conventional. They made jokes about blowing up entire fleets just to see what would happen, though everyone secretly wondered if they could actually do it. The galaxy outside the windows of their ships stretched endlessly. Stars glittered like jewels, and in the darkness, shadows of alien armadas could be seen on distant sensors. Humanity's representatives were not ready for diplomacy, for careful planning, or for rules. They were ready for improvisation, for chaos, for the thrill of surviving impossible odds. And in that readiness, they were dangerous beyond imagination. The Council decided to keep a close eye on Earth's team. The humans were allowed some freedom because, paradoxically, that freedom made them effective. Other alien species looked on with concern, whispering that sending humans might have been a mistake. But the humans did not care. They were already planning their next move. They repaired their ships, tested their new tools, and shared stories of past adventures, stories of battles on Earth, of feats of madness, of impossible victories that made no sense but had happened anyway. Among the humans, bonds were forming, strange as they were. The hacker admired the ex-soldier's precision. The mechanical arm man respected the quiet woman's foresight. The pilot encouraged all of them to take risks that no one else would dare. Together, they were a team unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Unpredictable, chaotic, brilliant, and terrifying, exactly what Earth had sent. And far away, beyond the edge of known space, the alien fleet began to move. They had seen the humans' first encounter, and they were not pleased. They underestimated humanity once. They would not underestimate them again, but Earth's fighters did not care about expectations. They were ready to prove that humans could survive anything, and perhaps even turn chaos into victory. As their ships orbited the mining colony one last time before heading back to the station, the team laughed. They argued. They plotted. They made bets on who would survive the next battle and who would blow up the most alien ships for fun. No one really believed their odds, but it did not matter. This was human nature, reckless, brilliant, unyielding. The galaxy had asked for fighters. Earth had sent its best, its brightest, and its most unhinged, and the universe would never be the same again. The humans returned to the orbital station after their first encounter with the alien scouts. They were celebrated quietly by some council officials who had never seen such unpredictable strategies work so well. Most aliens, however, were uneasy. Humans did not follow the rules. They did not fight like anyone else. Their actions were chaotic, almost reckless, and yet the humans had succeeded. The team wasted no time resting. In their minds, victory was temporary. The aliens' warning had made that clear. "More coming, destroy everything." Those words echoed in their heads. The humans understood danger differently. Where others felt fear, they felt opportunity. Where others saw limits, they saw a puzzle to solve, a challenge to bend to their will. The mission briefing came from the Council's highest military officers. A larger alien force had been detected moving toward the same mining colony, and their numbers were staggering. The humans were to intercept, stop them, or at least slow them down. Conventional military strategies were suggested: formations, calculated attacks, and careful maneuvers. The humans listened politely, but inside they were already thinking of ways to do something completely different. The pilot, his hair almost glowing in the station's artificial light, grinned. "Formations are boring," he said. We do something fun, something they'll never see coming. The mechanical arm man nodded. Fun and chaos go together. I like it. The hacker smiled and began typing furiously, already modifying the ship's systems for unpredictable attacks. The ex-soldier rolled his eyes but prepared weapons anyway. The quiet woman, the one who often saw danger first, simply shook her head and said, "Just be careful." Space stretched endlessly around them, filled with stars that seemed innocent and calm. Yet out there, shadows of the alien fleet waited, moving faster than anyone had imagined. The humans approached without a clear plan, each one improvising, each one thinking differently. This was their strength. This was why Earth had sent them. The first encounter was sudden. Alien ships appeared like lightning on the sensors, sleek, precise, and deadly. They moved in perfect coordination, expecting to overwhelm anyone who opposed them. The humans, however, did not follow a straight line. Their ships darted, spun, and looped around each other, creating a tangle of movement that confounded the aliens. One alien ship fired a pulse weapon, designed to disable enemies instantly. The pilot did not dodge. Instead, he flew directly through the pulse, twisting his ship at the last second so that the weapon missed completely. The mechanical arm man fired a makeshift missile, crafted from salvaged parts and explosives, into a cluster of alien ships. The explosion was small but strategically placed, forcing the alien formation to break. The hacker laughed as he uploaded a virus into one of the alien ships, causing its control system to glitch. Lights flashed, engines sputtered, and the ship began spinning in an uncontrollable arc before crashing into another alien vessel. The humans were not fighting carefully. They were improvising, turning chaos into advantage. Even when mistakes happened, they seemed to work in their favor. A human ship accidentally collided with an asteroid, breaking off a piece that rolled toward an enemy ship, crushing it. Another ship's weapons misfired, but the resulting explosion scared nearby aliens into retreat. The humans adapted instantly, taking what could have been disaster and turning it into victory. Despite the chaos, they communicated with subtle signals, strange but effective. A nod here, a hand gesture there, a sound or a light on the ship. These small cues allowed them to coordinate without formal strategy. They trusted each other completely because no one else in the galaxy could understand what they were doing. But the aliens were not easily defeated. They regrouped, analyzing the humans' behavior. Their systems calculated probabilities, predicted outcomes, and attempted to adapt to the unpredictable tactics. For a moment, the humans faced real danger. One alien cruiser cornered two human ships, firing pulses that disrupted engines and shields. The ex-soldier acted first. With quick precision, he maneuvered his ship close to the cruiser, using its own momentum against it. The mechanical arm man fired improvised weapons from a hidden compartment, hitting the cruiser at weak points no alien engineer expected. The pilot executed daring spins and flips, confusing the enemy sensors further. The hacker sent a coordinated signal that triggered a system glitch, making the alien ship fire on its own allies. In minutes, the humans had not only escaped but gained the advantage. The alien fleet was reeling, unsure how to respond. They had faced other species, other armies, but never anything like this. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous, and somehow effective. Amid the battle, a smaller, personal confrontation took place. The quiet woman's ship faced a lone alien fighter. Calm and collected, she did not fire immediately. She waited, analyzing its movement, then executed a maneuver so unexpected that the alien ship crashed into a debris field. She did not celebrate. She simply continued, focused on the larger fight. The victory came not from power but from ingenuity. The humans had used chaos as a weapon. The aliens could not predict them, could not understand them, and could not fight them effectively. The humans had survived and in the process had saved the mining colony. Returning to the station, the team celebrated quietly in their own ways. Some laughed, some polished their ships, some, like the quiet woman, simply observed the stars. They had won the battle, but they knew it was only the beginning. The larger alien fleet still moved through space, and they would soon have to face it. The council debriefed them with cautious admiration. "Your methods are unconventional," one alien official said. "Dangerous but effective." The humans did not argue. They did not need to. They had proved their worth. The galaxy might have asked for fighters, but Earth had sent something more. Humans who could survive impossible odds, who could improvise in ways no machine or strategy could predict. In the mess hall, the humans gathered around a table scattered with maps, digital tablets, and strange snacks. They talked, not about strategy, but about possibilities. The hacker suggested using alien communication systems to send confusing messages to the next fleet. The mechanical arm man wanted to modify captured weapons. The pilot proposed a daring ambush, something so bold it might be considered insane. The ex-soldier rolled his eyes but prepared supplies. The quiet woman warned about overconfidence, yet even she allowed the others to proceed. Their camaraderie was strange but strong. Each person had their own style, their own methods, yet together they formed a unit unlike any other. They were reckless, unpredictable, and unorthodox. But they were human, and that made all the difference. As they prepared for the next mission, sensors picked up unusual activity near a distant asteroid field. Small alien ships, moving in formations too precise to be random, were on the move. The humans exchanged glances, excitement flashing in their eyes. This was what they lived for, the unknown, the impossible, the challenge that no one else could face. The galaxy beyond Earth was dangerous. The humans knew that, but danger for them was not a limit. It was an invitation. They would not follow rules. They would not fight as others expected. They would do what humans always did, think differently, act boldly, and survive against impossible odds. And so, as the alien fleet approached, the humans prepared in their own way. Ships hummed with energy, systems glowed with modifications, and each person readied themselves for what would come. They did not fear. They did not hesitate. They thrived on unpredictability, on chaos, on the thrill of facing an enemy that no one else could fight. The first true battle was about to begin. The alien fleet would soon learn what the galaxy had not yet understood. Humans were not like other species. They were dangerous. They were brilliant. And they would not be stopped. In the cold darkness of space, Earth's unhinged champions smiled. The universe might have asked for fighters. Earth had sent something else entirely. And the galaxy, for all its planning and precision, would never be the same. The humans had barely returned from their first real encounter when sensors on the orbital station started screaming. The alien fleet was larger than anyone had expected. Not just a few ships this time, but hundreds, maybe thousands, moving in perfect formation. They advanced toward the mining colony and the nearby sectors with one goal: to crush anything that resisted. The humans gathered in the command room, staring at the blinking displays. The pilot leaned forward, eyes gleaming. "This is going to be fun," he said. The ex-soldier groaned. "Fun isn't the word I would use," he muttered. The mechanical arm man tapped his fingers on the table. "Fun, danger, chaos, they're all synonyms when it comes to humans." The hacker grinned, already connecting systems to predict alien movements. The quiet woman simply observed the fleet, calculating, cautious yet ready. The council tried to enforce conventional strategy. "Form a defensive perimeter, wait for reinforcements. Use coordinated attacks," the alien officer advised. But the humans ignored most of it. They had learned that following rules would get them killed. Instead, they devised a plan that seemed reckless to anyone else: divide, confuse, and strike unpredictably. They would not meet the fleet head-on. They would make the aliens fight chaos itself. Their ships launched from the station in a storm of lights and engines. The humans moved like dancers, weaving through space, each ship taking a different approach. The pilot spun his ship, narrowly missing asteroids, while the mechanical arm man fired modified projectiles designed to bounce unpredictably. The hacker sent signals that made alien sensors malfunction, causing some enemy ships to drift into others. The ex-soldier's disciplined commands coordinated the chaos without making it obvious, and the quiet woman watched every move, ready to intervene if anything went wrong. The alien fleet reacted instantly. Their formation was flawless, their weapons deadly precise. But humans were not predictable. One human ship charged straight toward a massive cruiser, not to attack, but to draw its fire. The alien weapons followed, leaving openings elsewhere. Another ship sent a cloud of reflective debris that confused the enemy's targeting systems. The aliens fired blindly, their advantage in numbers reduced by humans' unpredictability. A smaller fight unfolded in the midst of the chaos. The quiet woman faced 3 alien fighters at once. Calmly, she weaved her ship between asteroids, using gravity to sling herself past them. She fired only when necessary, her movements precise yet strange, so unpredictable the aliens could not anticipate her actions. One ship collided with a piece of debris and was destroyed, another misfired, and the third retreated in confusion. She did not celebrate. In her mind, the larger fight mattered more than individual victories. The pilot performed a maneuver that would have terrified any normal human. He led 3 alien ships on a chase through a field of exploding comets. The aliens followed blindly, their sensors unable to compensate for the constant changes. The mechanical arm man had set explosive charges on the comets, and as the aliens pursued, the charges detonated, scattering them in every direction. The humans laughed as they watched the alien ships spin out of control. Meanwhile, the hacker had found a weak point in the fleet's communication network. By sending confusing signals, he caused a group of alien ships to turn on each other. The aliens tried to regroup, but every attempt failed. Humans were everywhere and nowhere at once. Their actions could not be predicted, their strategy incomprehensible. Chaos was their weapon, and it worked better than anyone expected. Yet, despite their brilliance, the humans faced real danger. One of the alien cruisers managed to trap 2 human ships in a narrow asteroid corridor. Weapons fired, shields flickered, and the ships rocked violently. The ex-soldier shouted commands, guiding them through the obstacle. The pilot did daring maneuvers, almost colliding with asteroids, and the mechanical arm man used a modified grappling system to push debris at the enemy. The hacker rerouted power to shields, and the quiet woman calculated trajectories for escape. Together, they survived, though just barely. The tide of battle shifted again when a group of humans executed a risky plan. They split into small teams and attacked from unexpected angles. One team used cloaking technology modified by the hacker, appearing suddenly behind alien ships. Another created fake signals, making the aliens think their fleet was under attack from multiple directions. Explosions and confusion spread through the enemy ranks. Humans were not just surviving, they were winning by making the impossible happen. From the Council's observation deck, aliens watched in disbelief. "This is madness," one officer said. "They are not following any strategy we know. They are improvising at a level we cannot calculate." The humans, of course, did not care. They were doing what humans always did, using their intelligence, unpredictability, and courage to turn danger into opportunity. The mechanical arm man found a way to disable a group of alien weapons by sending magnetic pulses from his ship. The hacker hacked into alien drones, turning them against their own fleet. The pilot created diversions that caused confusion and fear. The ex-soldier coordinated movements without a single human following a strict plan. The quiet woman ensured that no one made a fatal mistake, silently saving her team several times. Hours passed. The battle raged across space, a chaotic dance of light, energy, and movement. Human ingenuity met alien precision, and for once the unpredictable won over the orderly. The alien fleet began to retreat, unable to cope with tactics it could not understand. Ships were damaged, formations broken, and morale shattered. Humans had done what no one thought possible. They had turned a hopeless situation into victory. Back on the station, the humans regrouped, exhausted but exhilarated. They shared stories of what they had done, laughing at moments of near disaster, marveling at successes that seemed impossible. The pilot described how he had led 3 cruisers into an asteroid field just to watch them crash. The mechanical arm man proudly displayed new modifications he had made to their weapons. The hacker boasted about the alien drones he had taken over. The ex-soldier scolded them for risk-taking, though secretly proud. The quiet woman quietly reviewed data, noting where they could improve. The council was astounded. Earth's humans had done what no other species could. They had fought a superior force and won, not through conventional tactics or sheer firepower, but through creativity, chaos, and daring. The galaxy whispered about humans in awe and fear. They were not just fighters, they were wild cards, unpredictable and unstoppable. Yet the humans knew the battle was only the beginning. The alien fleet would not forget this defeat. They would regroup, analyze, and return stronger. Humans, however, had no fear. They thrived on danger, on unpredictability, on challenges that others could not face. They planned, not carefully but creatively, preparing for the next encounter with ingenuity and madness. The ex-soldier gathered the team. "We survived today, but next time will be harder. We need to be ready." The pilot grinned. "Ready? We were born ready. We just don't follow your boring plans." The mechanical arm man clapped him on the back. "And thank goodness for that." The hacker laughed. "I've already started finding new ways to confuse them. By the next battle, they won't know what's real and what's a trap." The quiet woman looked at them, a small smile on her face. "Just don't get too careless." Chaos, it seemed, was a human specialty, and the universe was about to learn just how dangerous that could be. The team spent days repairing ships, analyzing data, and refining their strategies. Every human contributed in their own way, using their strengths to improve the group. They joked, argued, and laughed, but always with purpose. Each had survived impossible odds before and knew that together they could face anything. When sensors detected another alien movement, the humans did not panic. They prepared not with fear but with excitement. Another battle was coming, larger and more dangerous than before. Yet in every human mind there was certainty. They would survive, they would fight, and they would find a way to win no matter what. As their ships moved toward the outer sector, stars glimmering in the distance, the humans shared a silent understanding. They were not just soldiers, they were Earth's wild, brilliant champions, unpredictable, daring, and unstoppable. The galaxy had asked for fighters. Earth had sent something entirely different, and the universe would never be the same. In the darkness of space, the alien fleet advanced, unaware of the surprises awaiting them. Humans, with their strange tactics and reckless courage, were ready. Chaos had become their weapon, and they wielded it like no one else could. For Earth's team, victory was never guaranteed, but risk, danger, and unpredictability were not obstacles, they were opportunities. They would face the alien fleet again, smarter, bolder, and more unhinged than ever. The battle for the galaxy was far from over, and in every ship, every mind, every heart there was the same thought: humans would survive, humans would win. And they would do it their way. The humans had survived 2 battles, but nothing prepared them for the full might of the alien armada. Their sensors detected hundreds of massive warships advancing in formation, stretching across the darkness of space like a living shadow. Each ship was armed with weapons capable of destroying planets. This was not a skirmish. This was total war. The humans gathered in the command room, silent for the first time since their arrival at the orbital station. The pilot's usual grin was gone, replaced by a sharp, focused intensity. The ex-soldier tightened his jaw, scanning the displays, calculating the odds. The mechanical arm man tapped his fingers impatiently, ready for action. The hacker's fingers danced over his console, already trying to find weak points. The quiet woman studied the fleet, her calm focus cutting through the tension. The council offered advice, but the humans did not need it. Conventional tactics would not work here, and everyone knew it. Humans thrived on unpredictability, improvisation, and chaos. That was their weapon, and now they would wield it against the greatest threat the galaxy had seen in centuries. The plan was simple in theory, impossible in execution. Divide the alien armada, confuse them, and strike at their vulnerabilities from every unexpected angle. Each human ship would act independently, yet together they would become a force the aliens could not predict. It was risky. It was dangerous, and it was perfect for humans. Their ships launched in formation that was anything but orderly. The pilot led the charge, weaving through space with acrobatic precision, drawing enemy fire to empty sectors. The mechanical arm man deployed traps, floating devices armed with explosives, and magnetic pulses designed to disrupt alien engines. The hacker infiltrated alien systems remotely, turning their own ships against them. The ex-soldier coordinated movements like a conductor of chaos, while the quiet woman ensured every maneuver minimized risk. The alien fleet reacted immediately. Energy beams cut through space, missiles streaked past, and defensive systems lit up the void. But humans did not hesitate. One by one, they executed maneuvers no alien could anticipate. The pilot led 3 cruisers on a chase through an asteroid field, weaving between rocks and debris, causing the enemy ships to collide and crash. The mechanical arm man launched modified projectiles that bounced unpredictably, hitting critical systems the aliens had assumed safe. Meanwhile, the hacker found a flaw in the alien communication network. By sending false signals, he caused a group of ships to turn against each other, firing on allies instead of humans. Confusion spread through the fleet like wildfire. Humans did not attack in a straight line. They attacked from every angle, appearing and disappearing unpredictably, exploiting every weakness. Amid the chaos, smaller battles played out. The quiet woman faced 5 alien fighters alone. She did not panic. Calmly, she used gravity to sling her ship around asteroids, firing only when necessary. One ship collided with space debris, another misfired, a third ran out of fuel, leaving only 2, both retreating in confusion. Her focus never wavered, ensuring the larger battle remained the priority. The ex-soldier and mechanical arm man led a small team on a dangerous maneuver. They flew directly toward the center of the alien formation, risking everything to draw fire and create openings. Explosions rocked the void, alien ships spun out of control, and humans seized the opportunity to strike. The pilot's ship darted through the chaos, deploying decoys that further disoriented the enemy. The hacker manipulated alien sensors, making it impossible for them to coordinate. Despite the humans' brilliance, danger was real. One massive alien warship locked onto the pilot's vessel, firing a pulse that could disable engines instantly. The pilot twisted, dodged, and weaved, narrowly avoiding destruction. The mechanical arm man used a magnetic pulse to jam the alien weapons, while the hacker hacked into the ship's targeting system, causing it to fire on nothing. The ex-soldier guided their small team around debris, keeping them alive. The quiet woman calculated trajectories for escape, preventing disaster. Hours passed in a blur of light, movement, and chaos. The humans fought as individuals and as a unit simultaneously, unpredictable in every moment. Each maneuver was daring, each decision risky, but together they turned the tide. The alien fleet, despite superior numbers and firepower, could not anticipate the humans' actions. The battle reached its climax when the humans executed a final, daring plan. They divided into small teams, each attacking a critical point in the alien formation. The pilot led a group to disable communications. The hacker infiltrated weapons systems. The mechanical arm man set traps that caused massive confusion. The ex-soldier coordinated movement to maximize effectiveness, and the quiet woman struck at the most vulnerable ships with surgical precision. The alien fleet faltered. Ships collided, systems malfunctioned, and command structures broke down. The humans' unpredictability had created chaos so complete that even the most disciplined alien forces could not recover. One by one, alien ships were destroyed, captured, or forced to retreat. As the battle ended, the humans regrouped in orbit around a devastated sector. Their ships bore damage, their crews were exhausted, but they had done it. They had defeated an armada thought impossible to stop. The galaxy was saved from immediate destruction, but the cost was evident. Humans had pushed their limits, and the aliens would not forget. The council observed in awe and fear. "Incredible," one officer said. "They are not just soldiers, they are chaos incarnate." Another whispered, "If Earth's humans can do this once, what might they do again?" Humans did not wait for approval. They repaired, modified, and prepared for the next inevitable encounter. On the station, the team gathered. The pilot laughed, recounting daring maneuvers. The mechanical arm man boasted about modifications that had turned the tide. The hacker described systems he had taken over. The ex-soldier scolded them for risks, though secretly proud. The quiet woman reviewed data, noting where improvements could be made. Together, they were exhausted but alive, bonded by chaos and shared survival. Their success was undeniable, but the humans knew the galaxy would never see them the same way again. Stories of their audacity spread quickly. Other species marveled at human creativity, some feared them, and the aliens were plotting revenge. Humans were not just a species, they were a force the universe could not predict. Even as they repaired ships and strategized, the humans prepared for the future. The alien fleet would return, stronger and more cautious, but humans thrived on unpredictability. They would fight differently, improvise further, and survive through daring creativity. No strategy could prepare the universe for what humans were capable of when pushed to the edge. The team stood together, ready for what was to come. Their bond, formed through chaos and survival, was unbreakable. They were not soldiers in the conventional sense. They were humans, unpredictable and unstoppable. The galaxy had asked for fighters. Earth had sent something else entirely: wild, brilliant, unhinged humans who could survive impossible odds and turn chaos into victory. And as the next battle loomed on the horizon, they were ready. For the first time, humans did not just fight, they inspired awe, fear, and admiration across the stars. Their tactics were reckless, their bravery unmatched, and their creativity limitless. In the darkness of space, they were a storm no alien could predict or control. As the stars stretched endlessly, the humans laughed, repaired, and planned. Danger was no longer a threat, it was a challenge. They would face the alien fleet again, and next time they would be even more unpredictable, more daring, and more brilliant. The galaxy had underestimated humans once. They would not make that mistake again. And so, in the silence of the void, the humans prepared. Their ships gleamed, weapons hummed, and minds raced. Chaos had become their greatest weapon, and they wielded it with perfect precision. The universe would soon learn that humans did not fight like anyone else. Humans survived differently, and they won differently. The next battle was coming, and when it did, the humans would be ready. Not because they were strongest or fastest or most numerous. They would win because they were human, unpredictable, brilliant, unyielding. The galaxy had asked for fighters, and Earth had sent a force the universe could never fully understand. And in that truth lay the humans' greatest strength. The battle had ended. The alien fleet, scattered and broken, had retreated into the darkness of space. The humans floated among the stars, their ships battered but still alive. For the first time since this war began, there was a moment of quiet. The galaxy had witnessed something extraordinary. Humans had not only survived, they had won. Against impossible odds, against numbers and firepower no one else could challenge, they had emerged victorious. The orbital station welcomed them back, but there was no fanfare. There was no parade, no medals waiting on polished tables. Other species watched them with awe, curiosity, and a touch of fear. The humans had shown the galaxy that they did not fight like anyone else. They had broken every rule, bent every expectation, and turned chaos into a weapon. The universe would not forget it. The humans gathered in the station's central hall, tired but alive. The pilot leaned back, smirking as he surveyed the others. "Well," he said, "that was fun, wasn't it?" The ex-soldier shook his head, rubbing his temples. "Fun is one word for it. Insane is another." The mechanical arm man grinned. "Either way, it worked." The hacker laughed, tapping rapidly on his console. "I think I might have fried their AI permanently. They won't know what hit them next time." The quiet woman simply watched, her calm presence grounding the chaos. "We did it, but the galaxy isn't safe yet. They'll be back." They had survived the impossible and proven that unpredictability was their greatest weapon. "You have done remarkable work," one alien official said carefully. "Your methods are unconventional, chaotic, risky, but effective. The galaxy owes you gratitude." The humans exchanged glances, smirks crossing faces. The pilot shrugged. "We do what we can." The mechanical arm man added, "Rules are boring, we prefer to improvise." The ex-soldier muttered, "Don't make it sound like fun." The hacker laughed, and the quiet woman said nothing, but her eyes held a glint of pride. As the meeting ended, the humans returned to their ships. Repairs had to be done, weapons checked, and strategies refined. But they moved with the relaxed confidence of those who had survived death itself. The alien fleet would return someday, but humans thrived on challenge. They did not fear it, they embraced it. While repairs were underway, the team shared stories. The pilot recounted narrow escapes, daring maneuvers, and moments that should have ended in disaster. The mechanical arm man showed off modifications to weapons and ships that had saved lives in ways no one could have predicted. The hacker displayed programs that had turned enemy technology against itself. The ex-soldier scolded reckless choices, but acknowledged their success. The quiet woman analyzed data, ensuring that mistakes were learned from and not repeated. Together they laughed, argued, and planned for the future. Word spread across the galaxy of Earth's unhinged champions. Other species whispered in astonishment. Humans did not fight like any army they had ever seen. They improvised, adapted, and survived against all odds. They were unpredictable, dangerous, and brilliant. Aliens debated whether sending humans as representatives had been wise, but the results were undeniable. Humans had saved lives, protected colonies, and outwitted a fleet thought invincible. But the humans did not care about fame or recognition. Their focus remained on survival, on preparation, on the next impossible challenge. They repaired their ships, tested new strategies, and explored the captured alien technology for ideas. Each human contributed in their own way, their strengths complementing one another. Where one was reckless, another was careful. Where one improvised, another analyzed. Together, they were unstoppable. One evening, the pilot and mechanical arm man stood outside, looking at the stars. "Do you think they'll come back?" the pilot asked. "Oh, definitely," the mechanical arm man replied. "And when they do, we'll be ready in our way." The pilot laughed. "Our way is terrifying enough already." They looked at each other and grinned, knowing that fear and chaos were weapons no alien could match. The hacker joined them, a tablet in hand. "I've started creating new tricks. By the time they return, they won't know what's real and what's a trap. We'll be ready for them." The quiet woman came last, standing silently and observing. "We must remember," she said softly, "that the galaxy may still underestimate us, but that is our advantage. Predictability is weakness, chaos is strength." "Just don't get killed before the next fight," he said. There was laughter, but underneath it was truth. Humans thrived in danger, and that was what made them unstoppable. The next days were filled with planning and experimentation. They tested new weapons, improved ships, and ran drills, but never in the conventional way. Each exercise was unpredictable, teaching them to adapt, improvise, and survive under pressure. They were preparing for a future attack that they knew would come, and they would meet it with creativity and audacity. The galaxy, meanwhile, watched cautiously. Other species admired humans' victories but also feared them. How could a species so unpredictable and dangerous be controlled? How could anyone anticipate their actions? Humans had changed the perception of what a single species could do in war. They had proven that bravery, creativity, and unpredictability could triumph where numbers and precision failed. One night, the humans gathered in the mess hall. They ate, shared stories, and laughed, recounting moments of near disaster and improbable victories. The pilot told how he had led alien ships into a debris field, causing them to destroy one another. The mechanical arm man described his explosive traps. The hacker boasted of hacking alien drones and turning them against their own fleet. The ex-soldier grumbled about risks, but even he smiled. The quiet woman quietly reviewed tactical data, silently proud of their success. Despite the levity, each human knew the truth. Victory was temporary. The aliens would return stronger and more cautious. But humans did not fear the unknown. They embraced it. They had survived against impossible odds, and they would do so again. Chaos was their weapon, and the universe had yet to see its full potential. Reports arrived from other sectors. Colonies that humans had protected were safe. Human ingenuity had prevented mass destruction. The galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief, though the Council remained wary. Humans were not just survivors, they were unpredictable forces of nature. Their methods could not be contained, controlled, or replicated. They had changed the rules of warfare and strategy forever. Back on the station, the human team looked outward, toward the dark void where the alien fleet had disappeared. They did not fear what would come. They only planned, laughed, and prepared. Each of them knew that when the next battle came, they would meet it not with fear, but with brilliance and audacity. The pilot leaned against the viewport, staring at distant stars. "Whatever comes next," he said, "they won't know what hit them." The mechanical arm man nodded, a smile on his face. "Let them try, they'll fail." The hacker typed rapidly, already devising new tricks and traps. The ex-soldier shook his head, muttering about recklessness. The quiet woman, standing silently, reminded them that unpredictability was their greatest weapon. Humanity had been underestimated, and the galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans survived differently, they fought differently, and they won differently. No alien fleet, no matter how advanced or powerful, could predict them. Chaos, ingenuity, courage, and unyielding audacity were the tools of Earth's champions, and they wielded them flawlessly. The station lights dimmed as humans rested, repaired, and planned. The pilot dreamed of daring maneuvers, the mechanical arm man imagined new weapons, the hacker plotted complex systems, the ex-soldier reviewed tactics, and the quiet woman observed the stars, thinking of the next challenge. Together, they formed a team that could not be beaten, a force the galaxy could not ignore, and a symbol of human brilliance and daring. In the silence of space, a single truth became clear. Humans had not only survived, they had reshaped the universe's understanding of strength. The galaxy had asked for fighters. Earth had sent something else entirely. A force unpredictable, daring, brilliant, and unstoppable. Humans had turned chaos into victory, danger into opportunity, and unpredictability into power. And as the stars shimmered beyond their ships, humans laughed, planned, and prepared. They knew the alien fleet would return, but they would meet it not with fear, not with hesitation, but with brilliance. The universe had seen what humans could do, and the next chapter would be even more extraordinary. For Earth's champions, victory was not the end. It was a beginning of audacity, chaos, and the unyielding human spirit. The galaxy had asked for fighters. Earth had sent humans, and in doing so, they had changed the universe forever.